Hi everyone, it's great to be here with all of you. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and for taking the time to be with us today. Many of you watching this summit have been working with us for many years now, and we're so grateful for your partnership. We appreciate your trust and we look forward to working with you even more in the future. For those of you who are just getting to know Snap, welcome, and we look forward to sharing how Snapchat can help you reach your audience and tell your brand story in a way that feels authentic and creative and that drives meaningful business results. Snap is a camera company, and our camera is used by millions of people every day as a tool for self-expression, and increasingly our camera is being used for augmented reality. Over the years, we've collaborated with people like Jeff Koons, Alex Israel, or Damien Hirst to build a camera that can support the imagination and creativity of these talented artists and bring their creations to life in AR. We're very excited about the potential of technology to offer new ways for people to express themselves, live in the moment, learn about the world, and have fun together. When we build new products, we always think about the ways that technology can support our humanity. Rather than starting with technology and then forcing humans to adapt, we build technology that enhances what makes us human, and it feels natural to use. That's why we're so focused on augmented reality, because it overlays computing on the world that we share together. AR is enabling amazing product discovery and try-on experiences, and the Snapchat camera is bringing these experiences to hundreds of millions of people every day. These new experiences are changing the way that consumers interact with brands, reducing friction and bringing products to life right before their eyes. For several years now, we've collaborated with luxury brands around brand campaigns, product launches, and events. Luxury inspires us with creativity, innovation, and excellence, and this is why we love collaborating with luxury brands. You expect the best, and you push us to do more and to do better to create even more innovative experiences to meet the high standards of luxury. Working with luxury brands challenges us to create a better camera and to make a positive impact for our community. Thank you for your partnership and for expecting only the best from Snap.
Marhaba and welcome everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Rasha Al-Ghussaini, Head of Luxury at Snapchat in MENA. Building on what Evan just said, I'd like to also personally thank you for your partnership over the past years and salute all the teams involved across our brand and agency partners for the great work, creativity, and innovation we've built together. We wanted to kick off the year with a live event. However, health and safety comes first. We opted to go virtual. Back in December, Snapchat hosted our first global luxury summit, so we wanted to bring you this content. For us to continue to support your business ambitions and media strategies, we have conducted a proprietary research in KSA and UAE across both luxury and beauty. So today, I will be sharing with you a few insights about Snapchatters that are relevant to your business. Starting with luxury. We looked into where Snapchatters spend most of their money across the luxury categories. And we saw that clothing takes the lion's share in both Saudi Arabia and the UAE. But the two markets are not similar when it comes to spend in other categories, where Saudi Snapchatters spend the most on shoes after clothing, whereas in the UAE, Snapchatters spend most on jewelry after clothing. We were really interested to know what motivates them and what they look for when purchasing luxury items. Whether it was quality, self-satisfaction, gifting, trend, or even their social status. And it was interesting to see that premium quality came first for Saudi Snapchatters, whereas in the UAE, self-satisfaction ranked by far the number one. This is definitely something to consider when developing your campaigns for each market. Both of our markets are known to have a generous gifting culture, and this is definitely solidified here, where almost 2 in 3 of our Snapchatters are willing to spend up to 10,000 Saudi riyals or dirhams per gift. We wanted to know where Snapchatters go to purchase their luxury items, especially with all the different options one has these days. What we found out is that the actual brand store is the number one go-to in both markets, and websites come as a very close second. It is worth noting that Snapchat ranks as the number 4 channel for purchasing luxury items in Saudi Arabia. Seeing that Snapchat is a key channel for purchasing luxury items, we touched on advertising on Snap and its direct impact on these purchases. 30% of the Snapchatters we surveyed in KSA and 20% in the UAE confirmed buying luxury items after seeing an ad on Snapchat in the last 4 weeks. And now, let's have a look at beauty. When we asked Snapchatters where they spend the most across the beauty category, it is interesting to note that the KSA and UAE markets had very different responses. Saudi Snapchatters spend the most on skincare, whilst in the UAE, Snapchatters spend the most on makeup. But in both markets, hair care did come last. Purchase decisions in the kingdom seem to be less influenced by family and friends, versus the UAE, where 1 in 2 Snapchatters purchase a beauty product based on that. In Saudi Arabia, price, offers, and discounts are the biggest factor, and both markets have ranked celebrity and influencer endorsements to have the least influence. Now let's look at the reasons for buying beauty products. Both markets have labeled personal use to be the biggest reasons for buying beauty products. And Snapchatters in both markets had the same ranking for the rest of the category. So next came trying a new product, followed by gifting, and then trying a new brand. Advertising on Snapchat is driving actual purchases for the beauty industry. Almost 1 in 2 Snapchatters in Saudi Arabia and almost 1 in 3 of Snapchatters in the UAE confirmed buying beauty products after seeing an ad on Snapchat in the last 4 weeks. And last but definitely not least, it was most exciting to see that 53% of Snapchatters in KSA and 39% of Snapchatters in the UAE confirmed that they are more likely to purchase a beauty product after trying it virtually using a Snapchat AR lens. If that isn't a hint for your upcoming campaign, I don't know what is. I will now leave you with Geoffrey Perez, Snapchat's Global Head of Luxury, who will be the host of today's summit.
Hi everyone, my name is Geoffrey Perez, and you know what? I have the best job in the world. You know why? Because I get to work with you, the most creative brands in the world. My job is to help luxury brands reach their audiences on Snapchat and create amazing experiences that drive tangible results. I'm very excited to be hosting Snap's first ever Global Luxury Summit. Paris, London, Milan, LA, Dubai. For this summit, we have invited brands and speakers from all over the world. Welcome to all of you. So, why did we call today's event Crafted for Luxury? Because we are convinced that Snap and luxury brands share a deep, meaningful connection. We both believe in the power of storytelling and in the importance of creating immersive, beautiful, and unique experiences. We both believe in the power of storytelling and building magical and customized experiences. We both are driven by the need to discover new and exciting territories to explore. Embracing the new today, tomorrow, and beyond. This is why we believe that Snapchat is crafted for luxury. The luxury industry is at a tipping point, and we see three major shifts that are changing the way brands operate. First is omnichannel. Digital is at the same level as physical stores. The unique goal is to create seamless experiences between offline to online and vice versa. The pandemic has just accelerated that trend. According to McKinsey, 80% of luxury sales are influenced by digital. The second shift is the consequence of the first one. The customer journey needs to be at the same level online and offline. To do this, brands need to offer an immersive, customized, and seamless experience. Last, and definitely not least, local consumers and new generations. Because of the pandemic, local consumers are more important than ever. And new generations, millennials and Gen Z, have entered into the scene with new values and new expectations. In the next 4 years, millennials and Gen Z will drive 130% of luxury market growth. By 2035, the Gen Z only will account for 40% of global personal luxury goods sold. What's amazing about the Gen Z? Not only they have huge purchasing power today, but they also have influence over other generations. So, omnichannel, experience, audience. We believe Snap is uniquely positioned to help you face these shifts. And we have crafted today's agenda to show you how. Let's get started. For our first session, we wanted you to understand Snapchat a little better. We have invited Peter Sellis, our Vice President of Product, to talk to you about how Snapchat is crafted for humans.
I took a selfie with an old iPhone just right before filming this. Now, if you look at it closely, it's totally messed up. At least it is to me. Can you see why? You see, up until a couple of years ago, the default behavior for the selfie camera, the front-facing one, was to reverse the image so it was how you appear to the world, not how you appear to yourself in the mirror. It's actually quite jarring. I'm sure some of you have experienced it before. That's because the way we all see ourselves every day is first in a mirror. Now, there was one camera that always showed the mirrored view, the one that you're comfortable with, since about 2011. Maybe you can guess. It was Snapchat. My name is Peter, and I'm the Vice President of Product at Snap, where I've worked for almost 7 years, since the app was just 3 years old. There are so many decisions we've made over the years that speak to our values, especially around privacy, safety, and self-expression. As a bit of a sneakerhead myself, just like fashion, these seemingly small decisions make a big difference in helping you express yourself. See, with fashion, you might admire the craft that goes into making a piece of clothing or a designer sneaker. You might look at the quality of the fabric, the details, the history, whether the seams are visible or not. But how do you do the same for a piece of software? For a product like Snapchat, the design is about the ease of use and its speed and performance, but also whether you feel comfortable when you're using it, whether it feels like it was made for you. Today, I want to talk about a few examples that really resonate with me, like the selfie one that I just shared, and then speak to the future, what we're doing next to drive our mission, to help people express themselves, live in the moment, learn about the world, and have fun together. You see, so much of what we've done is underpinned by the concept of human-centric design, having deep empathy for our community as we try and solve real problems for them. This means listening, building prototypes, and getting solution in people's hands and seeing how they actually use them and feel about them. But let me start here with the opposite. This example screenshot from a random publisher. Did this make you feel safer when the entire internet started being covered in checkboxes and acceptance requests? GDPR, CCPA, did suddenly you have your privacy back? Had we even lost it to begin with? When we ask the Snapchat community, why do they use the service so much? They always bring up one feature, the fact that snaps are ephemeral, that they disappear. For years, people thought that this was trivial. They thought it was for silly, childish reasons. That turned out to be wrong. Not because people are sending things they need to disappear, but because it makes them feel like both the content and the context of their conversation will be better preserved. Just like a real conversation. Surely we would all act differently if everything we said was being preserved forever. There's a reason that people say, dance like nobody's watching. This analogy to real human conversation goes much, much deeper. For example, when someone chats with you on Snapchat, it triggers a notification when they start typing, because we pay attention to people when they start talking, not when they're done. And when you enter the chat, you appear not as a little blue dot or a piece of text that says Peter is typing, but as your Bitmoji, something that both you and your friends identify with. And your friends and family see that Bitmoji peeking up, and maybe it feels a little bit more like when you're together in person. And when there's a few of you in the chat together, it really starts to feel like you're almost there together in person. And honestly, even seeing this little recording makes me wish I was there with my mom and dad. And when someone takes a screenshot or a screen record, everybody knows. It politely urges them to explain why they had to, just as if they were recording the conversation in real life, or honestly to just not do it at all. I use these examples from the macro ephemerality, delete by default, to the micro Bitmoji presence to illustrate what human-centric design really looks like for something like privacy. It's not one single technical decision, but rather the creation of an ecosystem that mimics the natural dynamics of human conversation, of being together. That's our goal. But what's next? How can we leverage these values and principles to build our future? What does it mean for luxury? Let's start with the format we created, stories. Stories, you may have noticed, are now everywhere. I'm sure if you love this presentation, you will all be posting this to your LinkedIn story. Or did they kill those? I forgot. Either way, don't do that. What's interesting to me about stories is that they've become so public. This is already starting to create a form of context collapse on other platforms, where what used to be a comfortable place to share with friends is now mixed with content from brands, businesses, influencers, creators, and everything can just go viral in a moment. On Snap, we actually prioritize your friend stories based on the ones we think will lead to a conversation. We separate your friends from your subscriptions. We focus on quality time spent. Even for our creators and shows with huge public audiences, we've launched a set of tools that are focused on engaging their communities first, not just growing their views. Our latest shows actually encourage the community to contribute and engage with their friends. Take actually one of my favorite examples, the map. The dominant maps today are designed to get you from point A to point B. Traditional maps were essentially built for cars. The Snap map is not that. It's a contextual map built for people. Remember when you were a kid, what the world was like in your head? Your map was just the places where you spent time with your friends and family. And that's what our map is designed to do, help you spend time with your friends. The map is built around meeting up with your real-life friends in real life. It's built also for safety. In fact, it periodically reminds you who you're sharing your location with to make sure it's the right group of people. And it's on top of this friend-based map that we've added places, businesses on the map. You can take direct action from a place, like sharing it with your friends so you can meet up, or favoriting it for later. We're going to add more and more functionality to places so our community can do what they do best, use Snapchat to be out in the real world. Speaking of that, let's talk about AR. Augmented reality has been around for a while, but it never really caught on for consumers, to be totally honest. That is, until almost exactly 6 years ago with our funny face filters and lenses. These have come to define Snapchat in so many ways. But what's interesting is that Snap has created a whole generation of people, 300 million plus Snapchatters, who aim their phone at themselves and expect something magical. And now they're turning it around and aiming it at the world. They're solving math problems. They're shopping for what they see in the world around them. And they're even trying things on. And it's shopping that I think shows so much of the potential of AR on Snapchat. Not because it's perfect today by any means, but because we can already envision a future where it's 10 times better than the present. That's honestly because shopping on the internet today, 20, 30 years after it first started, still is focused on efficiency. Finding what you want, checking out quickly. Almost every site you see is a grid of static product images. It's like you're in a mall that we built for you, but we forgot to bring your friends, forgot to build you a fitting room, and forgot to even give you a mirror. What if, instead, we could build shopping around you rather than the product? Maybe then we could finally deliver on Cher's closet from Clueless 25 years ago now. For brands, that means Snap will not just increase conversion rates, but reduce returns and waste, and start to build real loyalty. And we're just getting started, but that's why when we brought brands into our ecosystem with the launch of business profiles, we focused them around the utility that businesses offer with AR experiences, not just a race to who has the most followers. With a business profile, all of the beautiful experiences that brands build will persist on our platform because they offer such utility to our audience. Speaking of my favorite topic, sneakers, Dior has shared 5 or 6 lenses for sneaker try-ons. Some of them were pushed with paid media campaigns, some of them were purely organic. And they've already accumulated millions of views, or should I say try-ons, creating the start of what will be a virtual storefront for Dior. And that's what's so exciting for us, to be building this behavior native to an entire generation of overlaying computing on the world around them. It's not designed to escape reality or to isolate you, but to empower you to express yourself, live in the moment, learn about the world, and have fun with your friends. Thanks a lot. I hope that this helps shine some light on our thinking. I'm excited to have the opportunity to discuss this with all of you, as it appears more and more important that the values that drive our actions are clear, transparent, and human-centric, both as a company and a business, but also as a society. Thanks and see you soon.
Thank you, Peter. And now, let's talk about how Snapchat is crafted for storytelling.
The core of the user experience on Snapchat is a completely new way to communicate, talking to your friends with photos and videos. Ever since the launch of our app 10 years ago, we have honed our craft and pioneered new storytelling formats designed for mobile. The first of these formats is vertical video, also known as Stories. Stories is video for the mobile age, short form and shot in a vertical format. Within the app, the 4th tab is named Discover. It looks like the equivalent of a physical newsstand dedicated to video content. Discover is where you catch up on the stories shared by your friends, created by Snapstars, and by the most trusted publishers in the world. Video is king on Snapchat. Every day, our community watches over 10 billion videos. To ensure a safe experience for users and brands, we've made Discover a closed platform. Publishers who create content for the platform are selected by our teams and follow strict editorial guidelines. You'll recognize many of the publishers who have partnered with us. Condé Nast with Vogue and 73 Questions. Elle, Business Insider. Melty, Mad with De Toute Beauté, and Marie Claire with Pop Model. On Snapchat, these publishers offer content that connects and resonates with the Snapchat community. Discover is also the place where publications like Vogue collaborate with digital creators to develop new formats, experiment with the tone and visuals of their content, and tackle the topics that younger generations care about, like Vlog with Lena Mafouf.
Et bienvenue dans votre nouvelle mini-série Vlog. On va venir découvrir la mode sous toutes ses coutures.
Discover is where fashionistas and luxury lovers stay up to date. They can follow the latest trends in fashion or go behind the scenes of how luxury products are made.
And now, whether you're a beauty, fashion, or jewelry brand, let's talk about you, luxury brands. Digital is changing the way you talk to your customer. And as Ines said, you can work with digital the same way you work with traditional media. You might be thinking, how can luxury brands be creative on Snapchat? Well, our next speaker is an expert at helping brands leverage this new reality and create unique, magical, and immersive experiences.
Hi, I'm Will Scoogle, Director of Creative Strategy here at Snapchat. We've just seen some fantastic examples of augmented reality craft in luxury. In this section, we're going to take a look at the role AR increasingly plays in the daily lives of a luxury audience and how luxury brands can play a valuable and effective role in the attention being given to AR by crafting experiences that range from the simple to the incredible. Augmented reality has transformed the world we live in. It gives the hundreds of millions of people who use it every day the opportunity to communicate and express themselves in new ways, to explore and discover the world, to try and buy products. Luxury brands, luxury products, the personality of luxury is an experience in itself, from the content to the retail spaces to trying and buying the product. Augmented reality is a new layer of luxury added to the world that everyone can try and aspire to own. We think about AR as the next major shift in computer technology. The behavioral shift we're seeing in people using AR is similar to when desktops became a feature in every home, when the internet became ubiquitous, and when that technology moved to mobile. In a recent study by Deloitte, they revealed that by 2025, 75% of the global population will be using AR in some way. Not the developed world, not mobile phone users, the global population. We've been lucky enough to work with incredible partners over the last 6 years, and we've learned from our amazing Snapchat community just what drives people to spend time with AR, how they use it to communicate, explore, to welcome it into their world, and why this is valuable to luxury brands in particular. So why is it so valuable, and why is it so important to brands? You may have heard a rumor over the last few years that people have diminishing attention spans. I don't think that this is the case. I actually think it's a little bit rude. Books would not be a thing. Podcasts would not be increasingly popular. Fashion shows and the catwalk would not exist if people struggled to pay attention. Attention has diversified, and a common denominator for where that attention is given is craft. With augmented reality, it's given by choice. When people launch AR on Snapchat, they're paying 100% of attention to what's happening on the screen. And what's happening is a sight, sound, and touch experience. In this example, we crafted a try-on experience in partnership with Shopart for the launch of their Happy Watch. 4.5 million Snapchatters chose to give their attention to this experience for an average of 15 seconds. Not the first time they experienced it or the last, but the average time. That's 100% of attention being given to a brand for the average length of a TV spot. While I don't believe that attention is a diminishing commodity, I do think it's increasingly difficult for brands to build emotional connections with their audience. People are using ad blockers. TV ads are getting shorter. People are less inclined to visit retail spaces in the current climate. With augmented reality, we have the opportunity to be welcomed into the world of our audiences in the place and at the moment that they want to experience us. For me, there is no better articulation of one of the fundamental goals of marketing: connecting with the right person in the right place at the right time. With the experience that AR offers, we have a huge opportunity to create emotional connections between our brands and our audience as we connect the digital and the physical worlds together. In this example, Guerlain tapped into the emotion of the holiday season to create a festively themed AR experience that brought the brand and product range to life for Snapchatters by combining the moment with an experience that drove a 13-point lift in brand favorability. Another thing that we've learned over the last few years is that utility, which can be crafted into the experience, drives action. With augmented reality, Snapchatters don't just have to look at a product, they can try it on. They can experiment with makeup, they can try different looks, try different clothes on. Brands can add real value through utility while moving audiences through to purchase. Coty tapped into this at the beginning of lockdown in the MENA region. As malls were closed and people were unable to visit these popular public places with their friends and their family, Coty reacted to the climate and worked with us to create 17 product lenses across 4 brands in their portfolio. The results were incredible. 62% of people that tried the AR experience went through to make a purchase. By applying these examples to the traditional purchase funnel, we can see that AR has transformed the opportunity we have to market to our audiences. Over and above simply awareness, we have attention. Instead of encouraging consideration, we have the opportunity to build emotion. And alongside action, we have the opportunity to build emotion. And alongside action, we can add value through utility, all at huge scale on Snapchat. To date, augmented reality has been used by some of our most innovative partners to do all of these things. But as AR becomes more popular and central to the daily lives of our audience, we're seeing more brands adopt a strategy to be present in AR in the everyday attention of the camera, as well as in the big moments. This planning grid will probably be quite familiar to most of you as a simple tool for planning video. We can apply it to AR across all of the examples we've seen here today. In the top right, we can see how Shopard created a brand moment around the launch of their watch. If we move down to moments in action, we can see how Guerlain tapped into the moment of the holiday season to showcase their product range in AR. Moving down to the bottom left of the grid, we can see how Coty tapped into the always-on opportunity to drive action around makeup trial. With the launch of brand profiles, brands now have the chance to house all of their augmented reality experiences in one branded space on Snapchat. Dior have done this fantastically well, as we can see in the top right-hand side of the grid, using their brand profile to drive always-on advocacy and as a testing bed for their AR experiences. With Dior, we can see how they're using the full planning grid to create a full augmented reality strategy. We can see how they're creating moments around their own products and partnerships, such as the one with Vespa, and how they're tapping into cultural moments like Ramadan to capture attention in augmented reality. We can see how they're using product moments to drive action and trial. We can see how they're using an always-on strategy around sneaker distribution. We can see how their brand profile collects all of these experiences, creating a place where people can discover augmented reality around the Dior brand at any time. To wrap up, I have 4 simple questions. Are you looking for attention? In particular, the supposedly hard-to-reach Gen Z and millennial audience. Do you want to build emotional connections between your brand and your audience? Do you want to add value for your communications and marketing? Are you looking to drive results at scale? If you're looking to achieve any of these objectives, then craft a layer of luxury for the world. Thank you very much.
I'm pretty sure that after hearing Will speak, you have plenty of ideas, right? I'm pretty sure that after hearing Will speak, you have plenty of ideas, right? We've shown you plenty of brand examples. Now, let's hear from them directly. Let's hear from Suzanne Gelormini at Piaget.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Gelormini, and I am the Social and Digital Media Project Manager at Piaget. We've been working with Snapchat since December 2019 to build authentic AR experiences. Through our partnership, we were able to take our AR to the next level by being the first brand ever to use their amazing wrist technology launched in May 2021. Building this partnership has taken time and patience, but the reward is so much more versus one-shot projects. The Piaget Polo Skeleton AR Try-On Lens brings a technical masterpiece straight to the Snapchat community's living room, where they can view the product, expand the details, and most importantly, try on that beauty right from the comfort of their own home. So, what are the details? Well, the Piaget Polo Skeleton Lens had more than 1.7 million plays. 720,000 of those spent on average 16 seconds engaging with it. We also had more than 50,000 shares, which generated almost 700,000 earned impressions. Not bad. The sky's the limit for the future of augmented reality, especially in the luxury industry. We definitely think that down the road, augmented reality will further help bridge the gap between the online and the offline world. It could mean bringing digital stock to our boutiques, allowing customers to try on items that physically aren't available, maybe making more moments purchasable through AR, like through the cinema or pop-up stores or streaming placements. Whatever it may be, we hope that we'll be there together with Snapchat to bring innovation to the world.
Wow! When we see the work that Gucci, Dior, and all the other brands are doing on the platform, we can see that the future of commerce is already here. Snapchat used vertical video and AR to transform storytelling. It is now using these exact same tools to transform the shopping experience. You can now go from product discovery to try on to purchase. I hope that by now you see what we think Snapchat is crafted for luxury.
I hope you are as excited as we are. We will be sharing with you a one-pager that has all the insights from our latest research. The team and I are looking forward to crafting a successful 2022 with all of you. Thank you for joining us.